My uncle used to be my aunt. My uncle used to be my aunt. All right, we sound good. This is the classic Gen Z. The 9 to 5 is dying. Here's what I see happening in the future. All right.
Perspective on what I think is going to happen to the corporate world in 10 to 15 years. I think that this whole 9 hours a day in an office sitting behind a computer screen is going to go away. I don't think it's going to be a thing anymore. I think enough people in this generation are waking up to the fact that they don't want to live that life. It's becoming very, very clear that people know they don't want that. And companies, these big corporation companies, are refusing to change their work policies, right? It is unbelievable to me how during COVID, a lot of people went to working remote and they got accustomed to working remote from their homes and stayed efficient. And then they wanted to go right back to the old ways and in office. And then employees are like, well, we were able to work from home efficiently and effectively. Why can't we do that whenever? Why do we have to be in an office? Because it's all a control thing. It's all a control thing, right? They want to be able to monitor and control your every move, micromanagement. And also, let's be realistic, 90% of these corporate 8 to 5 jobs that people are getting out of school right now, and when I graduated college, right, can all really be done by AI here pretty soon. A lot of these just menial tasks like implementing data into a spreadsheet or something, it's going to be able to be done by AI. So a lot of these jobs are going to be gone and a lot of people are going to be out of work.
I actually did that for a summer when I was younger. My godfather, I literally just typed in random coordinates into the computer from a piece of paper. And I gotta tell you, it was hands down the worst job I ever had. Thank you, Uncle Rick, for giving me that opportunity and paying me for what seemed to be like nothing. Just thought I'd throw that out there. It was miserable. So shout out to AI for solving that problem.
So with that being said, I believe that it's going to turn from a 9 to 5 culture to more of an independent contracting culture. I believe between AI coming and people just not wanting to go sit behind a computer screen for 45 hours a week, it's going to lead to more of an independent contracting type world where businesses are going to hire people who just have a specific skill set that they...
Okay, I love this guy's enthusiasm. I'm an idea guy. I like it. I like to think outside the box, get a little kooky, but as somebody who has actually had a couple failed businesses and a couple of successful ones, like 50 grand a year, doing this here, I'm going to tell you right now, the 9 to 5 system is kind of what we expect. So, for instance, I have a guy who works with me, Nestor, crazy cousin Nestor. He's not in today. He called out sick like a little bitch. Just kidding. But I like him to be here in person so that we actually get the job done. And if I call him, even if he was working from home, between the hours of, well, we do 10 to 5, but between the hours of 10 and 5, if you're not answering your fucking phone, I'm going to hire somebody else. So, I mean, literally think about it. That's how the world is built. So, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Work, I only work 12 to 5 on Mondays and Wednesdays. Sometimes I take off. I actually only do early mornings on Thursday. So like 9 to 12 after that. So what I mean is like, if you were to go and be an independent contractor, do you know that your customer is who's going to give you money? And if you're not operating within the parameters that are set, maybe the world will be different. I don't know. But I know for a fact, if I go to the automotive place that fixes my car, generally they're open from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And if I just go to get my car fixed and they're like, oh, dude, we don't work Wednesdays anymore. And actually Thursdays are half days and Fridays, it's kind of an up in the air situation. I'm going to go to the guy who does work 9 to 5. So what I mean is like the brutal reality is no matter whether you're going to the office or not, people are going to expect to get a hold of you. So I don't think there's any really getting around this. Maybe I'm tripping. Let's see where he's going with this. I don't want to be a negative Nancy. I'm just saying if Nestor doesn't answer my call Monday through Friday and it's 11 and he doesn't get back to me till 12:30 because he's an independent contractor, well, that's not going to fucking fly. And you'll feel the same way if you ever do get in a position where I sometimes work Wednesdays and I sometimes don't. When you go to call somebody who's working for you, you're going to feel the same way. Or your clients who try and get a hold of you and you don't answer, they're going to find somebody else. And people are going to show up and do this shit anyways. They need money. So if the boss says, hey, it's 9 to 5, come on in, that's what it's going to be. That's just the truth. That's just how it works. But maybe in a crazy future world, maybe, I don't know, maybe Wednesdays will be the new Friday.
They need for a short-term period, and then they'll move on. Whereas an independent contractor, you're just going to be looking for job to job to job. That loyalty that used to be a thing for a worker and their company is no longer a thing because there's no trust. People don't trust companies to keep them employed, right? There's no such thing as a pension. There's a constant fear of, am I still going to have a job next year with AI coming in and everything? Am I still going to be working here? So there's no trust. And then employees, if they find a higher paying opportunity, rightfully so, are going to leave for that opportunity. So employers are not necessarily very trustworthy of their employees, right? They look at employees as a number, and that employee is usually very replaceable. So they don't really care about you. That lack of trust was not a thing 30, 40, 50 years ago, right? A lot of people who entered the workforce at the time, like our parents or grandparents, right? There was a trust where when you joined a company, it was your expectation that you're probably going to be at that company for the rest of your life. But these companies just kind of treat you like a number now. And when they make you sit behind a computer screen and there's not a whole lot of value that you're providing to society, it makes you feel pretty worthless, right? At least that's how it would make me feel. And that's ultimately what led me to pursue the self-employment journey that I'm on and quitting the whole 9 to 5 thing. I just couldn't do it anymore. So if you're in a position where you're thinking about getting out of the 9 to 5 world, you kind of want to jumpstart right now, I think.
Yeah, if you want to jumpstart right now, I'm going to let you know you're going to be working more than 9 to 5. A lot more. You're never going to turn it off. It never shuts off. That's the beauty of being self-employed. You go from being able to turn it off to not turn it off. And another thing too, like working in person, it's different, right? I get it. Working remote, I work remote. But when you're working with other people, if somebody hires me, they need to get a hold of me and I'm not answering the phone, they're going to go with someone else and I'm not going to make any money. So that's kind of where I'm getting at with, but he'll learn this. I'm going to leave this guy's link down below. I love his enthusiasm. Maybe we will have some kind of a, right here, this comment, a 4-day work weeks, 4-hour days. Maybe this will become the new, the new normal. But like, please let me know. Maybe you have little AI robots doing everything. But I don't think this is ever going to be a viable option. Maybe it will. If you're 16 and live at home. But I don't know, man. We're built on like banker's hours, right? Like if I go to a hospital and they're like, oh, you didn't know like Tuesdays is a half day? Like, oh, we only do by job now, dude. You know what I mean? Like, even if you book something by the job, like, they got to get a hold of you. Like, even Nestor, he's not home today, but like, when I'm done filming this and I send it to him, I need to get a hold of him. And he's like, dude, it's a by task, bro. You pay me for the task, dude. It'll get done when it gets done. Do you imagine that? I'd be like, what? Like, that's not how you work with people. No matter if you work for yourself or not, you're still going to have to work with people to make money. I get it. I don't like corporate either. Fuck corporate. I understand that. Gen Z has trauma, lots of trauma from the pandemic and dopamine addiction as a result of running to phones to feel good. Hence the stare. They don't take charge of their lives. They will become slaves to those that will offer them dopamine in exchange for freedom. Okay, that's a little deep. It's always the trauma. You notice that? It's more than control. The control thing is a little bit, like, I get it. Pay them just enough to be happy and keep them coming back. I understand that. But it's not like I want to control. I'm using Nestor as an example here. It's not like I want to control Nestor by making him come in to work. What happens is when he comes to work, there's a transfer of energy, and I don't need to constantly play phone tag with him. Right? Lord knows what he's doing at the house. You know what it's like working from home, especially from yourself? For yourself. Bro, I could be fucking off right now. Go watch some TV, go whale one out, or if my girlfriend's out of town. She was here, maybe go have some sex, fuck off, just go, fuck it. You know, let's go to the beach today. You know, it's so tempting to do something. Same thing with Nestor. I don't know what the fuck he's doing right now. But I guarantee you, if I go to call him, there's a chance I might have to play phone tag with him. And it gets a little bit annoying. So when he comes into work, we actually get done sooner. We could have a 4-hour work day if we're working together. But when we're not working together, he's on his own time. Next thing you know, it's 7 at night. I'm going, Nestor, you done with that? So it's not just like control, right? Maybe there's a little level of control. Not on my end. I'm just saying, I don't think it's so much that, just more like it's easier to just walk into the other room, say, good, work looks good, done. Versus like calling, FaceTiming, send me the email, send me the PDF, let me see what it looks like. This transfer, this exchange, it's fucking annoying. It really is. Try it out. Please try it out. Outside of the control aspect, in my experience, the boomers at work hate their personal lives and don't want to be at home. They wanted to come back into the office, so made everyone come back. You know what? Here's to the 4-day work week. I'm not even going to argue. I'm really curious to see what the younger generation's going to do in the future. I'd love to see a world where no one has to work. It's 4-hour days and you go to restaurants and no one's there. Like, we didn't know Thursdays were take the day off on a whim Thursdays. And you know, maybe we could start going to court. You know, you got a court date with 7 at night. Let's do late night court. Make it a party, right? The automotive industry, maybe fuck a car. We have robots that drive us around, right? Within our little perimeters. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this will be the future. But as somebody who does work for themselves, and even when I did carpet cleaning when I was younger and tile jobs, you know, if the customer calls you and you just decide like, oh no, dude, I only work like 12 to 4. Like, why are you calling me at 10 a.m.? You know, I wouldn't have made any money. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Anyways, hell of a talk. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Shout out to the younger generation. And I like the enthusiasm. I really do. And I hope more people do work for themselves. But like, this 4-hour workday shit, like, you got to work 8 days a week for a long time to even have the luxury of even considering a 4-hour workday. Anyways, that's just my thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm tripping. We'll see. In 10 years, we'll double back to this, gentlemen. Unreal.